Bonsoir, mes amis. Welcome back to Monaco. Last time, the gentleman pulled off his magic trick. This time, we continue to play the charade. So, apparently the gentleman is trying to go off the grid. What exactly his end goal here isn't exactly clear, but apparently he's trying to, get rid of the body and everything else so that any people doing an inspection will find that David's records have been replaced with the gentleman's. So, essentially, the gentleman is trying to assume David's identity, or so it seems. As time goes on, this will become more clear. There's an interesting note for these levels. By and large, you can almost describe it as a certain level is created for a certain character. For instance, the level before this in the locksmith story, the level that this one covers is Centre Hospitalier, which is where we pick up the hacker. He was in the Psych ward up there. But the very next level is Securitech Corps. And, obviously being a security corporation, they have a lot of security. So it almost fits that, using the hacker on the level with all the security it just makes sense, right? Well, truth be told, I've never found the hacker extremely useful on those levels. Yeah, there are a lot of security systems, but the truth is, I think this is probably the one of the most valuable levels he's in. There are other levels that have more severe, what's the word I want to use? There are levels that have more severe security setups, but there are other ways of circumventing them. This time around, such as that safe right there, and a couple others, I can't really think of a decent way to do it with many other characters. This also brings back the crossbow guards, since we're back in the hospital. This section up in autopsies can get really dicey if you get spotted by the laser, since it'll set off an alarm, tranquilize you, and then the doctor with the tranquilizer crossbow can hit you at leisure. It can be a little bit dicey if you get spotted. Still, there's no reason to come back down to the morgue, so you should probably clear that out as soon as possible, so that you never have to come back down there, and you can just kind of go up from there. Unfortunately, coming out on this side, the game kind of plays a nasty trick on you, because as far as I'm aware, that guard pretty much always spawns there, and he's always walking towards you. So, a little bit of a nasty trick there from the game. But nothing too bad. Worst comes to worst, you can just dodge around him. This security room right here is another one where I'm thinking that, the hacker is extremely useful in this level because there are maybe 2 other computers, maybe 3, on this particular level. And obviously to get into there you have to have a virus on either side. So, what you could do is, assuming your viruses move fast enough, one of the computers is in that top left room there on the other side of the lobby. What you might be able to do is grab the computer virus and then run across, but you might notice there's a lot of lasers in the lobby. It's a lot more dicey than it seems. Down here on the bottom right, I'm actually going to take advantage of the guard's line of sight. You see, as I'm sneaking, he has less visibility of me, but since I get out of his peripheral vision right before he hits full question mark, he actually doesn't get alerted on me. It's always really, well, not really stressful, but a little bit to see that coming and know that, you know, maybe I'll make it, maybe I won't, but so far every time I've done it, I haven't had a problem. This here is the computer I was talking about earlier. You might be able to grab both the computers here and be able to use it like that, but with the rotating lasers, it's still just a little bit too much of a risk to me. It can be a little bit tricky to try and get these pieces of gold in the pharmacy, but the main thing to keep in mind is that all these people that you're taking the gold from here are civilians, and there's a pretty neat little secret passage here. Unfortunately, that secret passage pretty much only works one way. Going back the other way, you're guaranteed to bump into a civilian if you go through it. Interestingly enough, on the Psych ward, none of these lasers are attached to alarms. I guess in the event there's a breakout, they just want to make sure the prisoners are sedated more so than they want to be notified.
Je pense que ça devait être un chat.
The dental records are right here in security clearance, and if you get lucky like I do, you don't even need the virus because this guard will actually open the door for you.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ça?
But that's not always guaranteed. The eye, actually, in the infirmary here, on the left side of the room, that's another secret passage. But I don't find it very useful since as soon as you go through the passage, you're facing right into a crossbow doctor. Hazards of the job, I suppose.
Y a quelqu'un?
As far as I know, guards cannot follow you through secret passages if the secret passage is closed. Maybe if it's the only way out they have of an area, they may follow you then, or they may use the passages, but aside from that, I think the only people who use secret passages are civilians and yourself. Guards won't touch them. with this mission cleaned out. This time there's no daring helicopter escape. We just have to head back down to street level and steal an ambulance. Nothing too big, right?
Comme d'habitude. On ne trouve pas qu'il fait chaud ce soir. Ah, j'ai même pas un uniforme à ma taille, il fait chaud ce soir. Et le chef qui se tourne les pouces, comme d'habitude. Et le chef qui se tourne les pouces.
Y'a quelqu'un? Je crois qu'ils les ont filés.
And with that, that's all for now. Please join me next time when we continue our misinformation spree.